Here at CBD Daily, we strive to bring our customers the highest quality CBD products on the market to ensure an accurate and consistent amount of high-quality hemp-derived CBD and no THC goes into each and every one of our products. Here's an inside look at the extensive testing every CBD Daily product goes through.
Hi, welcome to Encore Labs. My name is Kevin Nolan. I'm the lab supervisor here.
I'm Evelyn Alvarez. I'm the quality assurance manager.
Come on in, we'll show you around. So Encore Labs is a cannabis testing lab located in Pasadena, California, and we opened because we noticed a lack of testing in the California market, so we really wanted to bring knowledge and transparency to the cannabis world. So we're in the sample intake room. This is where we intake the samples. We will take a photo of the sample, and then we will log it into our LIMS system, which basically tracks the sample from start to finish. It includes all the tests from potency to pesticide to microbial. It also acts as a client portal so they can log in and view their data. This helps us minimize any error or mix-up in samples that could occur during the entire process. So this is the main preparation room. We will homogenize the sample here from flower, concentrate, topicals. So we'll homogenize it and then we'll essentially extract it. And after the sample's weighed out, we will add the corresponding solvent. So this is the Geno grinder. This is what extracts the samples after we add the solvent. So after this machine is done, you'll see the samples. The solution will turn from a nice clear to a green like this. So we can see a lot of the chlorophyll is transferred into the solvent. What you can't see is the cannabinoids and pesticides and terpenes that is now in the solvent. Basically, all we have to do is separate out the matrix from the solution, and then we can inject them into the instruments. So after the sample is extracted, it's ready to be injected into the machine. This sample is ready to be injected. So here we're in the main instrumentation room. We do a variety of tests in here from pesticides, potency, and residual solvent and terpenes. What we use on pesticide testing is what's called a triple quadruple mass spectrometer. After it sucks up the sample, the mobile phase will get injected through it, and then it'll flow through what's called a column, which basically separates out the analytes based on their molecular characteristics such as size and polarity. It'll come up into a transfer tube and be injected into the actual mass spec, where it'll be ionized at the source and then further carried through the system to be separated out by mass and analyzed. For potency, what we use is called an HPLC. You inject the analyte into the fluid, and then the analyte is pushed through a cylindrical column that is designed to separate out the compounds by their chemical nature.
And on these instruments over here, we perform the residual solvents and the terpenes analysis performed on a GCMS, gas chromatography mass spectrometry. So essentially what it does is we weigh out a portion of the sample into this vial. The robotic arm will take the vial and put it into this agitator box where it'll heat it for a certain amount of time so that portion of the air in that vial will be injected into the instrument where we will analyze it for that list of residual solvents or chemicals.
So we're now in the microbial room. You'll see that this room is isolated from the rest of the lab. This is to limit any possible cross-contamination that could happen just through a lot of walkthrough. So we really want to limit the amount of people that come through here. What we use to detect the microbial contaminants is what's called a qPCR. Basically detects the DNA of specific organisms that we're looking for. These organisms are anywhere from Aspergillus, E. coli to Salmonella. This is Aaliyah preparing the DNA for the PCR. Right now she is tip mixing samples with a multi-channel pipette. So we're now in the heavy metals room. We're looking for 4 heavy metals here in the state of California. Arsenic, cadmium, mercury, and lead are known to be carcinogens and toxic to humans. How we basically do this, we'll digest a sample in acid. We'll inject it into what's called an ICP-MS. This stands for inductively coupled plasma mass spectrometry. Once it's injected into this system, we can effectively detect these metals down to the parts per trillion level. Once the sample reaches the top of the fluid line, it gets injected into what's called a nebulizer. It basically turns the liquid into a fine mist. Then it gets pulled into the ICP-MS through a vacuum. It'll basically incinerate the sample, so it'll separate all the molecules into individual atoms. And then it'll go through the instrument, further separated by mass, and then analyzed. So this is what the end product will look like. We'll go from a heterogeneous mixture of bud and acid into a nice clear liquid.
So thank you for visiting our lab and learning a little bit more about our cannabis testing processes.
And if you're interested in finding out more information, you can go to our website at encorelabs.com or visit our social media and give us that follow at Encore Labs.